Okay, next order of business I'm hoping is to get this valve installed. So what I'm hoping is that there's a hole right here in the frame. What they put it there for, I wish I could tell you. I have no idea. Manufacturing hole, whatever. Maybe they hang it when they're dipping it to paint the frame. But I'm kind of hoping that this valve will go up under here and bolt in there. If it does, I can loop this down from underneath through to that shock, and this one will get a loop in it and come back over and feed the opposite side. So in order to do this, though, I have to remove a few things or get them out of the way, one of which is going to be the computer here. So we're going to take that, and we're going to move this bundle of wire up over here. Let me get something to lay it on. Let's see, long johns. Yeah, those will work. I don't want to scratch anything, so why don't we put this like that. That's out of the way. This can come up. This is actually the harness for the rear of the bike, the blinkers and everything. I'm going to end up working with that anyway, because when I put in the LED signal lights that I have for the bike, it needs a signal stabilizer. So I do have that custom dynamics around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So signal stabilizer to put in to set all that up. So, but for right now, I'm not even worried about that. I just want to see if I can get this. Let's unplug that, get that wire out of the way. This wire can come this way, and we'll see, will this go up underneath there and have enough room to work. Let me remove this nut first. Probably have to put a washer on the back side, I assume, because of the size of it. Let's see what we got here. These lines are going to have to run up in. Don't know where that's going. Probably behind the fuse panel on that side. This one can come over this way. If I can get it up under the fender like that, that's what we want to do with it, like that. Now let's see if I can get this one like that. Very good. And you see what we're doing here. Hopefully this camera's picking it up. Again, that can go that way. It's out of the way. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, see, just like that. That's what I'm hoping. And then with a washer on it, will it sit? It's actually a little bit too big, I think. It ain't going to quite cut it. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't think it's going to work for what I need, because I need to be able to get the air valve on there for to pump the suspension, the hand pump that I have for it. Yeah, let's see if we bring it back out this way, maybe we can rotate it. If I have to buy a little bit longer lines, that's not a problem. I just want to get it, if I can get it up into place so it sits right. See, that's not too bad there, but the problem is once I put the nut on it, it's probably not going to give me enough room to connect the air pump to it. So that's where the issue comes in. This is all one piece, so that's not going to cut it, unfortunately. So I have to come up with something else up under the seat that will work for what we got to do here. Now, connect that back, bring this back over here. This goes up into the caddy. So once we connect the lines, where exactly I need this to sit, that's the issue. I don't want to drill holes in anything. Probably could, put it through here from behind, but I don't want to drill holes in case somebody else, they don't like the air shocks. Although the air shocks work great, as I said. So let me come around the other side here, and I'm going to open this side cover. Let's see what we got behind here. What kind of room we have. Like that. Let's see. Maybe we can fit it up in there. like this area here, maybe in between. I just got to have a spot to be able to get into it to pump air into the shocks without, you know, easy to get to is what I'm after, without causing an issue with any other features of the bike. So this, maybe we can loop up under like that, and then maybe it can come back to the shock like this. Let's see. Lock that in there, that's in. See, technically that could go right along there. It's not going to hurt anything. And then this definitely reaches the opposite side. Figure out a way. And just like I said, it needs to be in a spot that I can get to it with the to get the air pump on it. Yeah, see, that's snug right there. That ain't going to fit. That is not going to work there. If I can get it to fit up under and inside. But I need, okay, there's a plastic piece for the box there that's not quite going to cut it. And that is not a good position either. That's not going to do it. I was kind of hoping that that would fit and work, but that's not going to cut it. Don't think I can come up in between here. Disconnect that again. Let's pull it back out. Let's just see, is there enough room there? If we go this way, get that line back up there. Don't even know where it's going, but I don't know where it's going. That's the issue. Okay, so that line's right there. Come on. If you guys can see that, it's like right there. Doesn't want to push up in though. Try that again. Get a shot. There we go. Okay. So that'll definitely reach over to there. Let's see what we got. Let's sit there. Let's feed this one here. Again, I can trim these down before, when I wire tie it, I can do a straight run if that's going to work. If that's going to work for me. There we go. That's that. Just don't want something that's going to cut through one side of the line. Let's see. Okay, that's on there. That's on there. Yeah, see, that could feed that way. That'll work for that, but that's hanging out. We gotta figure out a way to, I guess I could wire tie that right there. It does have a hole there for mounting. I assume that that's what that was for off the touring bike. Okay. So we shall see. If I were to wire tie that there, is there enough room? I don't quite know if that's enough room to get that side cover back on. If that's there. Let's see. We don't want to pinch that up there. Yeah, that might work right there. If I wire tie that, and then I can just put a cap on it. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, that's on there. That can wire tie there. Put a black cap on that. It's not really noticeable. I can wire tie the line to the chassis there, up underneath here, and feed it right into the shock once we trim that. So that'll work for that. And like I said, that could be wire tied there. Not going to hurt anything. Actually, yeah, it's going to get into place of, it's hitting the side cover. So we don't want that. That's not something we want to do. I don't want to scratch the bottom of the side cover. Now, let's see. We come down here. Maybe to the brake line. Down there pretty far out of the way. That's pretty good there. So I think, and then that line doesn't need to be trimmed. I can just zip tie it there to the frame. And the other side, I believe, if I run it down underneath, let's see if we can come under here, bring it this way. This is sort of like when you're running air ride. You got to figure out where you want your lines to go. All right, let's see. So if we zip tie that there, make sure the side cover is going to clear. Oh, hitting something there. Okay. That's that line. So yeah, I think if we were to zip tie that right there, that would give enough room to be able to get the air pump on there. And then again, with a black cap, I don't think it's really going to be noticeable. So I think that's the route we're going to take. This is good here. That line just needs to be tied to the frame. Like that right there. I get a zip tie around there to hold that in place. And then this side reaches nice. Let's see. Plug that in there. Go around the other side and get that in. Very good. That's seated. So that zip tie like that. Again, black zip ties, so they're not really that noticeable. And I think that'll do the trick. So let me get some zip ties handy here and we'll figure out what we got. Yes, I got tons of zip ties. Buku zip ties, as they say. All different sizes, shapes, weights. You name it, we got it. All right, let's see. Let's put a thin one around here. See if I can go through this way. Get the end of it. Like that. Tuck that up there. There, now let's make sure that's not interfering with the side cover. Very good. That's not going to interfere with the side cover. That's fine there. So all I got to do is trim that off. Maybe put one more zip tie down at the bottom. And then this one, we're going to zip tie. I'm sure that camera's not picking it up. But we're going to zip tie this down here. Let's see, right to that, right about there, is really where I want it to be. If that'll work. Actually, I probably could make a small plate of metal off of that and drill a hole and just run it right straight through there. And then use that bolt with a thin strip of metal for it. So, for right now, that can sit like that. This is good here. That's good there. I just want to get a zip tie. I don't really want that sitting up there like that. Let's see. I actually probably want to run underneath that. So let me see if I can pull that back out. Run underneath here. There we go, like that. And we'll come down to our shock. Okay, that's locked in. Now we'll pull some of that back like that. Hopefully you guys can still see what the heck I'm doing here. Working with two cameras. So that'll work like that. Don't think I really need a zip tie here. Maybe on this side just to hold that so it's a straight shot. Pull this down. All right, let me get some cutting pliers and see what we got. Okay, back over here. Let's trim this off. That's that. Now, figure out where I want to wire tie the other one. Like I said, you don't want the hoses rubbing, so that's what we're after right now. So that's good and snug right there. And then I want that, like I said, I want a straight shot. I don't want it pinched. So maybe we loop one through that and around, and that's just enough to hold that in place. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. What do you want? What do you want, dog? What do you want, dog? Huh? What do you want from me? Silly bear. You're a silly bear, huh? Let's see. That's the oil tank. I don't think I can tuck up behind that. Yeah, there's no way through to get that. So let's see what we got here. All right. I think that's going to be it. I'm just going to throw a zip tie, wire tie, probably through here around to hold this in place. It should be good for, I'm hoping it's good for the seat once the seat's back on without pinching. Although that may pinch there. That is a concern. Let's see something. I don't know if I can run this through. Maybe I can run it through here. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me get another wire tie. One more. Just want to see if I have a spot over here between the oil tank and the frame. Yeah, see, that'll feed right through there. So maybe if I come through there, it's underneath. If we take this, I don't know if this will stay in there. I don't think that's going to feed through. It might, but I doubt it. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, doesn't get any better than that. Holy cow. We get this connected here. We don't even need a wire tie on it. All right, that's good there. I don't even think I need a zip tie. Yeah, see, that's nice. Shazam. I like it. Yeah, that's nice. That's in good and tight. Put this back where it belongs. Easier said than done. Come on, line up. There we go. Line up with the holes there. Very good. So that's good. Do this. I'm going to bring this camera around so I can show you guys. What we ended up doing was running down here through the frame next to the oil tank, and it's a perfect shot right into the shock. So this way, when the seat is on, that should not cause any problems there. It runs along the bottom here. It's not going to rub on anything, and then it's down to the valve. So if I can figure out a piece of steel, piece of plate metal for that valve down there where it's at, I think we'll be in business. Let's see. This goes back up here. That's very good. That's that. All right. Now, as I said, the valve. So I'm thinking if I back this screw out, if it's long enough, I can use a piece of plate steel. I have some over there, sheet metal. Can make it just a sheet metal bracket to bolt this to. It can come straight down and sit right here. Perfect. All right, I'm going to shut down for now. And if I get it figured out here, I'll come back and show you what we've come up with. All right, this is what I've come up with for now. Just took a plate of steel, drilled a couple holes in it. This is a 5/16, if I remember correctly. Or actually, that's a 3/8. And this one is, bear with me, let me look at the sizes here. Yeah, 5/16 and a 3/8. So basically, we've got a 5/16 here for the valve. So that's in place there for now. And that's good and tight. And down here, this is the rear foot peg mounts, here and here. So I had a short, stubby Allen head for now to hold this plate in place, because I do have a set of rear foot pegs for this bike. I am going to be putting on, and I will do a video on how to do those for both sides and get that banged out real quick. So, but for now, this will hold the valve until I get the foot pegs on, and then that same plate will actually hold the valves. So I think that should work out perfect. I got enough thread here to be able to get on the hand pump that I have for the rear shocks, for air shocks, and that should do the trick. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.